Cool. They gave a handout, so I thought I would just go over some of the finer points and talk about it. And maybe if anyone had anything they wanted to say about their experience with evaluations, or if they disagree or agree, feel free, because this could be more of an open forum. So it was 6 points of an effective evaluation. All right. So the first thing they talked about was before the speech, and I think this is kind of critical, especially when the person is working on in their manual or on their pathway. They have a specific goal. If it's vocal variety, if it's an icebreaker, if it's a comedy speech, whatever it is, you need to know what that is about if you're giving an evaluation, because you need to know if they're going to be meeting the parameters of the assignment outside of everything else. So definitely ask for their workbook or their evaluation sheet. Now that Pathways is electronic, it really would behoove the speaker to provide that to their evaluator. I mean, print that out. There's resources online where you can print out the evaluation form for your speech, because the person's probably not going to have a computer in front of them and this is what, they're not going to have that now with Pathways. So be proactive as a speaker, and as a evaluator. If you sign up, maybe reach out to your speaker and say, hey, I'd be looking to have your evaluation form on the day of the meeting. Number 2 is show that you're interested. So basically, this is an important, I think it's important, even if the speaker speaks about quantum physics, something that you're totally not too interested in, is my point, right?
I'm interested.
Right, I know. But what I mean is, you have to genuinely, regardless of the content, you have to be interested in them as a speaker and how they give their speech. And you want to be interested in providing growth and improvement to them. Okay. Third point was personalize your language. So this is basically like saying, I guess, bringing yourself into the experience that person's speech, right? It's like, I noticed you did this, I enjoyed this, I would have thought, basically one-on-one. Okay, rather than like a textbook evaluation, personalize it. Get them to know that being evaluated by a person, a friend, a club member, and not a machine. The fourth part was evaluate the presentation, not the content. And I think this is something a lot of us get stuck in. You don't, as an evaluator, you do not need to go up and rehash the speech. Doesn't matter what they talked about. If it was quantum physics, if it was waste distribution, whatever. I mean, if it was telling a story, a fairy tale, whatever. That doesn't matter. It's their delivery, their personal touch, how they gave the speech, how they were engaged with the audience, right? Their vocal variety, their posture. That's what's important, not necessarily what they spoke about. And that's what I think we get lost in a lot of our evaluations. I mean, I've seen it, especially, me personally giving evaluations, and I've seen others in our club give evaluations, and outside of our club, it's very hard not to talk about what they spoke about, but that's not what's important. And I thought that was really, I think that struck a big chord with me, because the speaker is not going to get anything beneficial about you talking about what they talked about, because they may have to give that speech at work. That may be a presentation for their job. It doesn't matter what they spoke about. It's more important the more important thing is how they effectively delivered it and how that presentation could be improved next time. Promote self-esteem. So you want to give constructive criticism, right? You want them to speak again. You don't want to tear them down to the ground so they never want to speak again. That is not our goal here at Toastmasters.
Really?
Right? So even if the person is an advanced speaker, and you can be nitpicky, right? You can. You can say, you know what? Everything was really good, but you know, use your hands this way, or you can get very nitpicky if you want, but you just don't want to deliver it in a way that makes them feel low or less than they are, because, you know, we're building them up, want them to speak again, so stay away from that kind of language. The last point, which I thought was very good, is always end the evaluation positively. And there's a lot of evaluation methods out there. If you've ever heard of good, better, best, there's another method called, I think it's called the hamburger or something like that. It's like the sandwich, thank you. So it's like something good, you know, the buns are the good parts, and the middle is like the critical, the meat, or the, you know, the cheese is the real, like,
you did listen to her speech,
criticism part. So you're starting that off positive, letting them know how they can improve, and then building them back up so they want to speak again. I think that's very important, because a lot of times I think we just, you did this, you did that, bad boy, bad girl, you know, and it's like, that's all that the evaluator says, and that doesn't inspire them to come back and be better next time. So anyways, I thought it was a really good workshop. I'd like to turn it into a speech one day, or a formal presentation. I know Toastmasters has some canned stuff out there that could go along with this. One thing they said at the very end is important for an evaluation. It's a mini speech, so it should have an opening, a body, and a conclusion. So I think it's important for our general evaluators to evaluate our evaluators, because they're not getting any better if they're not getting any feedback. They could be going down the same, you know, cycle of providing poor feedback when they could get a little bit of steering advice from their general evaluator, and getting them back on track, because we all are here to help each other, build each other up, and improve. So, thank you very much.